Hello, my gods and goddesses. Thank you so much for joining me again at the Temple of Venus. I am your high priestess, Gwendolyn. Thank you so much for coming back. Today, I want to talk about the concept of all is mind because your mind is your first temple. And I really want to encourage us to take care of that space. So I obviously, you guys know I take my notes and then I upload it to ChatGPT. So I'm gonna use those notes to lead the discussion, if you don't mind. Today I want to talk about something that is foundational to everything I believe. Before beauty rituals, before manifestation, before we can create the life that we want, we must first realize that our mind is our first temple, which simply means before anything existed in this world, it first existed mentally. So everything that has been created, from our car to the makeup that's on my face to the lights that we see, was once upon a time a thought. And that thought manifested into reality. I really don't want us to challenge the things that we create because it is a manifestation of a form that is the most ideal form. So I'm an artist, right? So I do a lot of painting, and one day I'm gonna like show you guys my paintings. And one thing that I stopped doing as an artist when I really understood my own cosmic power is I stopped judging the art so badly. I think a lot of artists do this, like it doesn't look good enough, like I should do this, but not realizing that, like, no, it looks exactly the way that it's supposed to look. It's manifesting as its most beautiful form from the ethers coming here. So in your mind, in that dark matter space, in that dark energy space, it is it is as beautiful and as perfect as the universe would want it to be. And you have the right to keep working at it, or you have the right to do what you wish you want to do. But everything around us was once in our imagination. Somebody imagined it. So I want you to continue imagining the best version of your life, the best thing that could ever happen to you. One of the ideas that came from ancient philosophy is the concept of all is mind, which appears in Hermetic philosophy. The concept suggests that the universe itself may operate through consciousness, which is dark matter and dark energy. The reality is that not just physical matter, but something that emerges from awareness. Now, when we talk about these items today, understand that we are just having a conversation. This conversation needs to happen for us to manifest our best self. Because sometimes, like, we look around and we get up, we go to work, and that's it. But there must be more to this life, right? And so that's when I started looking at the cosmos, the world around me, dark matter, dark energy, quasars, all of those things. And I wanted to use those things and bring them down to earth because, truth be told, we are all the elements of the universe. So when you fall asleep and you're dreaming, you are using the same space and the same dark matter, the same dark energy as the cosmos, the universe. And the best way I can describe it, dark energy and dark matter, and I guess that it is a gravitational force. It's what helps the universe expand. It is a very smart entity that is working. It's a neurological, like similar to a neurological connections. But what I really want us to take away from the fact that we know all of this information is that we can manifest the same way the universe manifests. Your dark matter is your thoughts that you bring into fruition, that you can see and come into real life. But the reason why I believe scientists can't see dark matter is because the universe is literally consciousness. Like, it is a conscious universe. It is aware of what's going on. Just like how we can't see people's thoughts. Like, you could pass away tomorrow and we look at your brain and we don't have any idea what your thoughts were. But we don't know what that looks like. We don't know what a thought looks like. You know, you can only have it and hold it in your mind, and the universe is the same way. That dark matter, that dark energy space, it's what's holding its own thoughts. So you are going to use those elements to manifest yourself and your great life. And so taking care of your mind is very important. So that also leads me to being careful to what you expose yourself to. Every moment of your life is filtered through your mind. Your interpretation of events, your beliefs about what is possible, your expectation for your future, all of that lives in your mind. So the mind becomes the lens which reality appears. And if that lens changes, then your experience could potentially change. If the mind is the first temple, then we must learn to how to care for the mind the same way we care for sacred spaces. So if we think about temples throughout history, they are spaces that should be cared for, treated delicately. And for me, the concept of the Temple of Venus came from my mind. Everything that you are seeing around me, or like that you've seen around me, came from my mind. Like I didn't create this channel because I wanted to emulate everybody else or be a content creator or whatever. I am one now, but I wanted to create something that I looked at and I loved. So I love this background. I made sure that I love the way that I present myself, because this is a form of my own self-love, right? That's growing. And that's how I take care of my mind, is by focusing on things that like I love and I care about, and surrounding myself with things that like reflect who I am internally, so that I can live a happy life. That's what I want. Don't allow anything that contaminates that sacred space. Many people unknowingly allow chaos into their minds every single day with negative beliefs, self-doubts, fear of the futures, or stories that you tell yourself, or comparison, social media, having negative people in your life. And so you have to really be careful with negative people in your life. And you have to ask yourself, are you the negative person? Are you somebody that spends a lot of time talking about other people? Are you somebody that spends a lot of time not creating? What have you created today? What have you done today? One of my favorite ways to think about this is through what I like to call the field of creation. So if you've watched my other videos, you've definitely heard me talk about your field of creation, which is the energetic space. It is the grid that is outside of us, very similar to space that's holding us up. We also have a grid of attraction. And this is where the concept of the law of attraction comes from. Law of attraction is actually a physics concept, that there are things that are naturally holding us together. So there are things that, you know, if like attracts like, so there are certain parts of you that you are attracting. So if you don't like your friends, then you have to look at yourself, because you attracted them. So every potential version of yourself exists. The life that you want, if you want to live comfortably, the life you want if you were successful. Now we're talking about like the different concepts of possibilities, the different possibilities that could exist. So the multiverse, the way that I picture the field of creation and the multiverse, I feel like there are things that are constantly happening, decisions that are constantly being made, right? And so you have to pick the decision for your life that you're aware of right now, so that you can manifest the things that you want. Otherwise, the possibility goes to somebody else, right? And then you have to take on the different possibility when you could just have that possibility for yourself, right? Because you are now your primary focus. But there might be another you somewhere in the multiverse that is living happily. So why would you let that version of yourself live happily when you are right here being aware of yourself? So make decisions for yourself that would lead to your happiness. Your mind determines which direction you begin moving towards. Your thoughts act like signals. They focus your attention, they shape your actions, they influence your decision. Over time, your mind starts selecting which version of reality becomes more likely. And that's why you do have to be careful with what you allow yourself to become. Like there's some people who like go down like that politics road and they get so into it that you know, they have charged themselves basically to like either like Democrats or Republicans. And for me, that's not what I charge myself with. I charge myself with light. I charge myself with reading. I charge myself with doing things that I love. And so be careful what you let your mind be exposed to. Now, when we look at the cosmos, when we look at the night sky and observe the stars that are light years away, we're actually looking at our past. The light from those stars may have traveled millions of years before reaching Earth. That's the concept of a light year, which means that we're looking at them now, but they were actually from a long time ago. The idea alone is mind blowing, but it also reminds us how vast the universe is. The universe contains billions of galaxies. Each galaxy contains billions of stars. Around and around many of those are planets. And when you sit with the idea, something interesting happens. You start to realize that existence itself is incredibly expansive. The universe is not small, reality is not small, possibility is not small. So why is it sometimes that our thought processes can be small? I want you to try to manifest your greatest life. Even if you can't do it right now, write it in a book or in a notebook, journal it, talk about it with ChatGPT. Put it out there into the grid so that the grid knows that you're looking for it and it can shift the world to give it to you and align yourself with that vibrationally, mentally, physically. Align yourself with the life that you are looking for. Okay, my gods and goddesses, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I always appreciate you guys for subscribing and watching. Thank you. I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much. And please below, let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? Because I want this to be a conversation that we can all have and grow together. Okay, thank you. It is done.